is a message to Path of Exile 1 players. That's not a great sign. That's not a great sign. I kind of just don't, I don't even, it just says a message. That's gonna be one of these, yo, we didn't realize how long it would take to do things again for the 55th time, and there's not gonna be a new PoE 1 league soon. Is that what this is gonna be? Because I don't think I can handle that emotionally. What's happening with Path of Exile 1?
Guys.
Oh, it doesn't look good. Oh, I'm worried.
Let's talk about PoE 1.
Let's.
Now, when we announced PoE 2, we promised that we would continue to create PoE 1 expansions, and we do intend to keep that promise.
That's good.
But it's certainly been a lot harder to deliver on it than what we expected. Now, the trouble really started after Settlers of Calgar in July last year.
You don't say.
The ideal time to have released 326 would have been late October, before the originally scheduled release of PoE 2's early access. But we just didn't think we could do it. It was too...
I don't think that was ever the ideal time. I was never thinking that it would come that early, because it would have too much crossover. That would be too tight. We knew that from the beginning. From the moment that league launched, we knew that. We spoke about it.
Close to the huge circus that was the organization around PoE 2's launch. But we also didn't want to immediately launch it right after PoE 2 either.
Yeah, of course.
So that kind of ruled out December. So then we're thinking, okay, we can't really have a launch in January due to...
Which is why right from the beginning, we were expecting late January, early February. Like, that's...
Christmas. So we're really going to have to do it in February. And this wasn't great.
Okay.
It would mean 7 months with no leagues.
Yeah, we knew that.
But we really didn't think it was possible to do it any earlier than that.
But we were it was sort of
and we
okay.
didn't really announce this
PoE.
exactly, but it was certainly something that we had said to quite a few people over time, so the community became generally aware that that was our plan. The issue is this. PoE 2's endgame needed a lot of work.
It still does.
Having the guys on the PoE 1 team help out for 3 months on PoE 2, given that 326 was 7 months away, seemed like a no-brainer, and man did PoE 2 need it. The problem is we got to the middle of October, and PoE 2's launch was imminent, and I'll tell you what, taking people off PoE 2 at that point was just impossible. The endgame was not in a shippable state. But you know what? We could still do it. If the PoE 1 team just kept helping until PoE 2 shipped in late November, we could still do it. Maybe the scope would need to decrease a little bit, but mid-February was still possible.
There's a lot of was here. There's a lot of was here.
We just needed to ship this damn game first, get it out of the way. We literally couldn't think about anything else until it was done, but we still had time. The problem is, we were fooling ourselves. PoE 2 was delayed 3 weeks, making the problem even worse. And then after the game was released, well, of course we had to immediately deal with all the problems. How could we think about making a PoE 1 expansion when we still have hundreds of thousands of people who are having bad experiences in PoE 2? There are crashes, there are severe in-game balance problems. How could I justify taking some of the most experienced developers we have off PoE 2 when it's on fire? Now, after the Christmas break, we had to really admit something to ourselves. The most urgent priority was getting PoE 2 to a point where it didn't have major issues.
Well,
and it's hard to even think about what PoE 1 needs when PoE 2 has really obvious problems that need fixing.
I know, I get it, but like, you're also not fixing PoE 2. You're like intentionally not making changes until the reset. So it feels from our side like nothing happens at all to either game.
We needed to get it to the point of stability and balance, and to fix the most severe deficiencies that PoE 2 has before we can take our eyes off it. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we can't really work on PoE 1 326 until PoE 2 0.2.0 has shipped. And then being honest, we probably need to support that for a couple of weeks after that as well.
When?
Now in the meantime, we are going to get a bunch of pre-production done on 326 with whatever people who are not needed to fix issues with PoE 2. And once 0.2.0 is sorted, I promise we will devote as many resources
Who are the people that aren't required? The art team?
as are needed from our company to get 326 done as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I just can't promise a date right now. Now, I'm really sorry for how this went down. Honestly, I should have predicted the fact that taking the PoE 1 team off PoE 1 would lead to this outcome, and I probably should have resisted doing it. But at every stage I just kept thinking, we still have time, and then we didn't have time anymore. Now we still have a lot to learn about how to run 2 games simultaneously. We were overconfident. We still need to work out how to structure our studio to make this possible. But we do have a solid plan for what we want to do with 326. Obviously I can't talk about it yet, but I'm hoping you guys are going to love it. I really want to thank you guys for all your support over the years. You guys do deserve better than this, and we will get 326 out as fast as we can.
Oh, man. Oh. It's just that the time frames that they set forward would... It's hard. How do I... All of the things that happened in the timelines that they said were going to happen that didn't happen, we were all 100% aware was never going to make it on those timelines. Even from outside, having no knowledge of what's going on in the company, we go, that can't happen. That's not enough time. If we can see that from here, then why can't you see that from there? I'm just asking the question. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. Like, if I can see it from here, why can't you see it from there? You're a lot closer. Okay. Well, so no anything for an indeterminate amount of time, and no balance changes or endgame changes or anything happening during the quote-unquote league of the early beta either. So potentially a month or 2 away before we see any change to either game. That's gonna be rough. I think you need to abandon the idea of not making changes that might affect the economy in an early beta. The economy is not this magical, like, sacrilegious thing you can't touch or interfere with when we're in an early beta. This is not a league. The game is not released yet. You cannot just wait months and months and months to make the changes you've already got ready. And I know you've got a bunch already ready. I know you already have stuff just ready to commit, that you're just like waiting on a patch, waiting on the reset. And I don't think you can do that, because this is early beta and you need to like release the stuff, release the balance changes you want when you've got them prepared. Like, I don't